Hi friends, welcome to Meals with Maria. Today I am trying something new. I'm going to set the timer, set the clock. I've got my trusty timer right here and it's gonna set for 15 minutes and we are going to see if the websites are in fact accurate. They're gonna say these meals are 15 minutes. They look amazing. I'm so excited to make them, but can we do in the 15 minutes? I'm not sure yet because usually I record ahead and this time I'm recording after so that we can find out. So let's make them and let's see. I am also so excited to share that this video is sponsored by Auntie Nono's Seasonings. I have been a big Auntie Nono's fan for a long time. If you aren't familiar with Auntie Nono's, they are a seasoning company that is committed to home cooks to get foolproof meals on the table fast, just like I am. I feel like we were made for each other. They're all about more flavor, less fuss, just like me. We are one in the same. Their layered seasoning combinations allow different notes to improve food's natural flavor, and I'm all about the natural flavor, but I love the enhancement. In addition to their classic blends, which include the everything seasoning and this firecracker sea salt, they just released an entire new grilling line. With these seasonings, you can make summer last forever. You can enjoy the warm flavors of cookout season all year long with their brand new backyard grilling trio. They have the burger seasoning, which has a little bit of smoke, sweetness, and spice for anything on your plate. And we will actually be using this later today. We have the steakhouse seasoned salt, the quickest and easiest way to bring an authentic flavors to a steakhouse to your very own kitchen. And I used this on a steak a couple weeks ago and it is absolutely marvelous. We did a ribeye on the grill. Oh my goodness. And they have a grilling seasoning, which is a savory flavor for your meats, your vegetables, and your seafood. It pretty much does it all. And if that wasn't good enough, there is no MSG. Everything in these is all natural. And yes, they are made right here in America, right here in the good old USA. I know that is important to many of you. I am so excited to share Auntie Nono's with you. So now we're gonna make some amazing burgers. We're gonna do them in 15 minutes, hopefully, and we're gonna use that great seasoning. If you use my code Maria50 or the link in the description box down below, for the next 7 days, you will receive 50% off 2 or more seasonings. That is a huge deal. So thankfully, I have been finding burger meat on sale recently for less than $3 a pound, which I think is pretty good, which is why I've been freezing it. So I just grabbed some meat from the freezer. I had already defrosted. You can use fresh, whatever you want. I did start my grill, and you want to start that right away because we want to do this in 15 minutes if we can. It doesn't take too much time to make burgers because you just want to shape your patties. I'm shaping mine into circles, and then I'm going to press a little thumbprint in the middle of them. There is, conflicting beliefs on whether this actually helps, but I do think that it makes them more moist and keeps the juices in. Then I'm going to sprinkle all of my burgers with that delicious Auntie Nono's burger seasoning, and when the grill is heated up, we're going to cook these for about 4 to 5 minutes on each side, depending on how you like them. And that is it. That is a burger. That's so simple. And we can thank Auntie Nono's for doing all the heavy lifting on the seasoning and flavor because I just need to shake that delicious burger seasoning over the top. We absolutely loved it. And I will do this with my burgers every single time now because it truly is such a treat. I serve this with some roasted potatoes, and that recipe will be in an upcoming video, so I encourage you to subscribe if you haven't already because you want to know about those potatoes. They are heavenly. Heavenly. Subscribing is worth it. Go ahead. You like the Auntie Nono's?
No time. 10 out of 10. Mama.
What do you think of the Auntie Nono's, Tommy?
What?
You like the burger?
Yeah.
Good?
Mm-hmm. Do you like the Auntie Nono's?
JJ was making me laugh so hard because he kept being like, we're going to have the burgers with the Auntie Nono's, right? With Auntie Nono's, with the seasoning, with the red one, with the yellow one. He's like all into the colors. Anyway, we are going to make easy chicken gyros. I'm going to say it right. I looked it up on Google. We've got our timer set, and I'm just going to open up some chicken thighs and dice those into pieces. You could totally use chicken breasts if you wanted to. You place all of your chicken cubes in a bowl or in a bag and then just pour about 1/4 to 1/2 cup of Greek dressing right over the top of the chicken. Make sure that that's mixed up. In the meantime, you can get a pan going on the oven, heat that up, get a little olive oil going in there. You just want to use the time that it takes for the pan to heat up to marinate that chicken. So you don't really need to marinate it for that long at all. And alternatively, you could start your grill and you can actually grill that chicken up, especially if you just leave it in larger pieces, and that would work too. I'm also going to get out all of my stuff because I feel like when these recipes are like, oh, it's 15 minutes, like it's no big deal. But then you have to get out like 30 items and you don't have everything chopped up already. Like, is it really 15 minutes or is it 15 minutes like once you have everything in bowls and it's come out of the fridge? So I'm saying it should be start to finish, right? We need to have fast, easy weeknight meals. You can see once my pan was hot, I added my chicken and I have about 6 minutes left. I just sliced up about 3/4 of a Roma tomato. I'm going to peel and slice some cucumber. Now it's up to you how much of this you're going to need or going to want to make. This should make about 5 euros, but I'm actually just going to make one because I'm going to have it for lunch and I don't want to cut up all my vegetables today because we're going to have this over the next few weeks as lunch. So I'm just going to cut up a little bit, but it wouldn't take much longer just to dice a little bit more of each one. And I'm also going to slice some red onion really thinly. You can use as much or as little of this as you like. I just like a little bit. It's just like that little flavor that tastes really good. And then I have feta cheese and tzatziki. I think it's tzatziki sauce. I might be saying that one wrong. I just bought that from the store. You can make your own sauce. I'll put a recipe for that down in the description box if you want to, but that would take a little extra time. So as that chicken is cooking, I'm just kind of like stirring it here and there. And I'm getting all of my condiments ready because we're going to assemble these sandwiches when the chicken is done. I have pita bread, but naan bread is also really good for this. So whatever you have around, you can totally use. So at 34 seconds, my chicken was done. It was like chopped, like plating, you know, like get it on the plate, get it on the plate. Now I took my time. I just waited for my chicken to be done. I put it into the pita. It took about 16 or 17 minutes to kind of put everything together. And especially if you're doing like 4 or 5 of these, take a little bit longer. So it's not a perfect 15-minute meal, but wow, it is fast. It is easy. And I did love it. This was an absolutely delicious lunch, something that has been good for days, or you can have it for dinner. Either one, it is so good and so fast. This next meal is called 15-minute one-pot lasagna. You're looking at all the flavors, tastes, all the greatness that is lasagna for a lot less time and a lot less hassle. We are setting the timer to 15 minutes and giving this a shot. Luckily, the only chopping that you need to do is dice 1 whole onion, then heat 2 tablespoons of oil in a large skillet over medium heat. Add your onion and about 1 pound of ground beef, and then you want to cook that until your beef is fully cooked through. And while that was cooking, I just opened up all the cans and stuff, all the ingredients that I needed, and I'm setting my spices into a bowl, so I'm ready to go with those too. I've got a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of dried basil, and 1/2 teaspoon of oregano. And I'm also going to add a sprinkle of red pepper flakes. Then you want to drain the grease. I'm just going to use a pair of tongs and some paper towels, and I find that that works really well. Then add in 1/2 cup of water, 8 ounces of pasta. I used this gemelli. It ended up taking longer to cook, I think, because I used the gemelli. So I would actually just break up pieces of lasagna noodle if I was going to do this again. Then 1 can of diced tomatoes undrained. You want to make sure those are not drained, and 1 cup of pasta sauce. Then you can add in all of those seasonings we put together, and then I did a nice generous sprinkle of the Auntie Nono's everything seasoning instead of salt and pepper. Now at this point, I only had 5 minutes left, and the recipe says that you want to let this cook for 10. So we were already kind of off on how long it just took to dice up those onions and cook that ground beef. So I'm thinking it's going to take at least 20 minutes for the recipe. Because I used the gemelli noodles, I think because they were tighter together, it actually took me another 5. So it was a total of 25 minutes to make the recipe. Still a very fast recipe, especially for what you get. So I was still very pleased with it, but it's definitely not, as advertised, a 15-minute one-pot meal. So yes, once this is simmering, reduce your heat to low, let it cook for 10 minutes or until the pasta is fully cooked through. Then you want to add 1 cup of mozzarella cheese, and optionally, which I would totally do, you're going to add 1/3 cup of ricotta cheese. Mix everything together, let everything get warmed through and the cheese melt. Then you can top it with another cup of mozzarella cheese and serve. It is absolutely delicious. Like I said, all the flavors of lasagna without all the fuss. It is a total winner, although it didn't quite come in at 15 minutes. So this was super fun, testing out these recipes and seeing if it all comes together and it all works in the amount of time that maybe the recipe promises. It's always fun to do stuff like this every now and then, but I still think these are all winners as far as flavor and as far as how fast they all come together.
I want to thank you so much for watching today. Do not forget my code Maria50 or the link in the description box for 50% off 2 or more spices from Auntie No-No's. You will not regret it. These are absolutely amazing, and this is a great deal. If it's after that 7-day period, you will still get 30% off using the link below. I want to thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, like this video, and click on this next video to get some more amazing inspiration.
For someone like you.